LaDona's here. A very good morning to you, LaDona. Happy New Year.
Good morning and Happy New Year. What's your name again?
Yeah, you know, that well-known friend of the family. I presume it's the guy standing to his right, is it? I don't know.
Oh, that's awful, and God knows I've forgotten people's names and sort of fudged through them as well, but not quite so publicly.
I think you could probably do slightly better than I mean, can't you? I mean, you can use. I mean, I'd rather call somebody the wrong name than do that, I think, which I have done.
Joe Smith. It's Joe Smith's birthday.
Yeah.
Say hello to Joe Smith.
Say
Joe,
yeah, something like that. Take a punt, you might get it right. You know, that's the thing. Only a few more days to go, I suppose, for Joe. And, you know, I was just asking, actually, looking back to, you know, January the 6th, 4 years ago, when all of that commotion happened, Donald Trump went out and made a speech. I was trying to work out whether there was something that happens on January the 6th when presidents change over, why that happened on January the 6th, because obviously it's January the 6th today. I mean, we're not expecting Biden to make any kind of speech of any kind, are we?
No, we're not expecting him to do anything of the kind. I mean, he may make a closing statement or something at the end of the presidency.
Right.
But, you know, that was at the end of a contentious election. And I think that the reason that it was of note, especially after what happened, was that it was seen as a provocation, basically, to, you know, fight the power or whatever. I don't know that it was. However, that's the way that it was construed, and that's the way that it was taken by some of those people who decided to, you know, we're gonna fight the election, we're gonna fight the results, and we're gonna go in and we're gonna take over. And they didn't. They caused a ruckus. A couple of people were hurt. A couple were killed, and basically did nothing.
Right.
It did nothing.
And so now we sort of have what you might call, I suppose, a smooth transition. At this moment in time, I guess there's already quite a few of the new Trump appointees working inside the White House, right?
Sure, yeah. When you have this kind of a transition, you have a transition team. There's one on both sides, actually. And those people are expected to work together to bring everyone up to speed on what's happening in the country and how to, you know, continue to move forward in whatever way. You know, it's not going to be the same way, obviously, but to continue to move forward in a way that is at least cohesive and makes some sort of sense.
Right.
And with government, it's a huge operation. So you have virtually everyone who's in government as a part of this process.
Yes, and I guess that's true, including perhaps, or not perhaps, Elon Musk. Elon Musk getting a lot of attention on this side of the pond, as you probably know, for some of his statements, which have been very much welcomed, actually, at the start of his campaign to highlight the grooming gangs story and how ridiculous it has been in this country. And a lot of people thought that was brilliant. But he then started to kind of go slightly, you know, off the track, if you like, and started attacking Keir Starmer and started attacking Jess Phillips, one of the ministers for safeguarding, and is now decided to attack Nigel Farage as well. Is that getting much play over there?
It's not getting a lot of play, although Farage has been a huge supporter of incoming President Trump. Yeah. So it's a little bit surprising. But remember, Elon's his own guy, and he's also a little nuts. And so, you know, he blurps out whatever comes into his head on Twitter. Right. And half the time it doesn't make any sense. And sometimes it makes sense. And sometimes a stopped clock is right twice a day. So, he's one of those guys.
I mean, he's a very clever guy, but he's very eccentric,
absolutely.
Isn't he? He's very eccentric.
Absolutely. But he doesn't speak for President Trump. He speaks for Elon Musk. He doesn't have to speak for anyone. He's worth $1 bajillion.
Exactly right. And then finally, Joe Biden, as one of his final acts, in addition to pardoning his own son, has decided to hand out a load of medals, the highest civilian honour, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He gave it to an interesting collection of people over the weekend, starting with Hillary Clinton and ending with Bono.
Right. And in between, you had Denzel Washington and George Soros.
Yeah. And so Lionel Messi.
You have all of
What's he doing?
I'm not really sure. I think the most interesting choice is George Soros, who has been a contentious political figure in the United States because he throws money behind far left candidates,
Right.
specifically to do with the justice system.
Right.
He has funded George Gascon in Los Angeles, for instance, who is no longer going to be the DA in Los Angeles, and kind of this defund the police effort. He's not. It's just an interesting choice. But basically what he does is throw around political money. Yeah. That's his contribution to society. At least with Bono, he gave us some great songs.
Well, he did do that. Yeah, absolutely right. But listen, great to talk to you, LaDona. Well done. Thank you very much indeed. LaDona Harvey, iHeartMedia presenter over in the US of A.